Genitive absolutes are another one of those small syntactical arrangement things in Greek that are really, really useful in terms of giving background information to a sentence. Can look a bit weird if you don't know what's going on, but aren't really all that difficult. The two terms are the important things to think about. You need, form-wise, a noun or equivalent, noun, pronoun, adjective, and a participle, both in the genitive. The absolute bit means the subject of the phrase is not the subject of the sentence. So what this construction does is it allows you to speak about one subject and give circumstantial information about them whilst moving on to a second one to do the main clause. You've got, in the present, simultaneous action. So you might have something like Yesu, you probably wanted two there, ontos, en te oikia, hoi mathetai, ephagon. While Jesus was in the house, the disciples ate. In the aorist, you might have tu Yesu elfontos, hoi mathetai, ephagon. After Jesus came, the disciples ate. So the aorist gives you sequence. The present gives you simultaneous action. Jesus is not the subject of the main verb, the disciples are, but you get some background information about him that sets the tone for the rest of the sentence. These are really useful in Greek because they do allow you to bring multiple groups of people into one sentence grammatically. You should find, theoretically, that the noun and the participle are either next to each other, or you might find, for example, that enter oikia were actually put inside between the two of them so that you could see that the whole thing was bounded, that the whole thing was part of the genitive absolute. These don't have to come at the start of a sentence, they could come anywhere in a sentence, so you do need to get used to going, oh look, there's random genitives, oh it happens to be a noun participle combination, let's think if it's a genitive absolute, because that's the most likely explanation for this very particular combination of words. Sometimes you will get phrases like the way I've written it there, where the word order doesn't necessarily help you tell whether ente or kia is where the disciples ate or where Jesus was. But on the whole, editors will help. Things like the comma there would have told you to take the ente or kia with the tu Yesu ontos. A couple of examples drawn from Luke. Luke 11:14. Egeneto de tu daimoniou ex alphontos elaleson hokorphos kai ethamasan hoi ochloi. You've got an aorist participle. So after the daimoniou, the demon came out, and now you've got hokorphos and hoi ochloi as your actual subjects. The dumb man spoke and the crowds were amazed. So you've got three different participants in that sentence. Two of them are expressed using an indicative verb. One of them you've got this contextual information about the demon using the aorist participle. And if you've got the dumb man spoke and the crowds were amazed, you may say after the demon had come out, because you're going to need in English to make your tenses relative to each other. Luke 14:29, 1432, you've got 2 genitive absolutes within 3 verses, so it's worth keeping an eye on where they start adding up. Luke 14:29 is relatively difficult, but the two together make quite a lot of sense, and it's worth having a look at them. We won't worry about the hinner bit. This is also part of a much more complicated overall structure, but you've got thentos, autu, themelion, and then it's extended chimer iskuontos. So you've actually got 2 participles in this one. It's beautiful. You've got when he, aorist of tithermi, so it's aorist after he has put down the themelion, the foundation stone, and mer iskuontos, and is not strong enough to carry it all out. So you've got both the aorist and then the present here mixed together in the same genitive absolute. After he's done one thing, and because he is another thing, pantes, and now your subject, all the spectators began to mock him. And then eti autu poro ontos, you've got autu ontos, and then poro bracketed between them. While he is still far off, somebody else asks for priest. So you've got no actual nominative noun in this sentence, but you have got a third person singular there, and you've got 2 different kings in this. This is about 2 kings coming together. You've got while king 1 is far off, king 2 erota ta proserenen. So it's a really useful grammatical feature that allows you to talk about one person as a background to a sentence before moving on to having a different subject.